Some of you may be thinking to yourself, you know what, this isn't true. Surely you don't really believe what you're saying here. Surely this is not the best EV you can buy in China. Well, it is. And I would be absolutely shocked if you fully watched this entire video and you disagree with me. In fact, I believe of all the people who watch this video, 99% of them are going to agree that this is the best EV you can buy in China. For the money, it is the best. And there's really no question about it when you actually weigh up everything this car has. It's shockingly good. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, holy smokes. Xpeng have just begun selling their Tesla Model Y rival in China. It's a bit bigger than a Tesla Model Y, and it has more range, and it is $10,000 cheaper, and Xpeng got 10,000 orders within about 10 minutes. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. Great to have you with us. I want to say thank you to our YouTube members for supporting the channel. Appreciate you guys. And also Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. And not just the channel, but obviously the whole point of this channel, which is to encourage more people to go electric, to get electric cars, to get renewable energy. Xpeng, the G7, they just revealed this vehicle. It has some incredibly advanced artificial intelligence, and it has, I think, 6 times the computing power of Tesla's full self-driving chip. And that's standard. You don't have to pay extra for that like you do with Tesla. It just comes standard. But the price is probably the biggest reason, I think, why this is, well, it's done so well. And considering the market is incredibly difficult, incredibly challenging in China right now. There's so many options. I mean, along comes Xiaomi with the U7, charging ridiculously low prices for it. They get just boatloads of orders. You've got BYD discounting their cars left, right, and center. So I think this is a pretty good achievement. But ultimately, really, let's be honest. The truth is that the G7, the Xpeng G7 or the Xpeng G7, it's just so much better value than a Tesla is in China. In fact, at $10,000 less and with a range of up to 436 miles, I don't know why you'd buy a Tesla, really, if you have, well, options like this on the market. Pricing starts at 196,000 RMB yuan, which is around $27,000, meaning it's actually $9,500 cheaper than the Tesla Model Y. I mean, that's a massive saving. And it's, like I said, it's a bigger car. It's got more interior space. In fact, it's currently the longest SUV that Xpeng manufacture. It comes with either 18 or 20-inch wheels. I think the wheels look not bad for an EV, actually. And it's, like I said, it's bigger than a Model Y, about 5% bigger, 192.6 inches long. That's 4,892 millimeters, about 4.9 meters long. 75.8 inches wide, that's 1,925 millimeters wide, and 65.2 inches tall, that's 1,655 millimeters tall. Wheelbase as well is longer than the Model Ys at 2,890 millimeters, which is 113.8 inches. That means the G7 is actually 4 inches longer than a Tesla Model Y or an Xpeng G6. Yeah, I mean, will this car be sold outside of China? I'm hearing it will be. Here's the other thing that's worth pointing out. This has 500 kilowatt charging. The new batteries that Xpeng are using across almost their entire range of cars, all their cars except for the Mona, I believe, are a special lithium iron phosphate battery, which enable pretty high energy density. The batteries are made by CALB, but predominantly the biggest factor of these batteries is the ability to charge so fast. It's an 800 volt architecture, but it's quite advanced in comparison to Xpeng's previous architecture. So that means charging speed has nearly doubled. You can charge the car in 12 minutes. Of course, you need the right charger for that. But even if you plugged into a 350 kilowatt charger, there's lots of those in the West, even those would give you a charge in approximately 16 minutes. So that'd be the fastest charging car you can currently buy if it were available. But fortunately, the G6, the new version of this with the same battery, same platform, that will be coming, I believe, by the end of this year. X9 as well, plus the Xpeng G9. The interior, I think, looks pretty good, pretty simple. It's got a heated two-spoke steering wheel, heated steering wheel is a great idea, you guys, because if you want to get your most range you can get with your EV, use your heated seats and your heated steering wheel, and don't use your aircon or your heater. That's one way that you can get an extra 5% of range approximately. On the inside, it's got a 15.6-inch display, and it has, apparently the entry-level model has power front seats with lots of different settings, heating, ventilation, massage functions as well. Base model. That's pretty impressive. Plus a floating center console with the dual 50-watt wireless smartphone chargers. In addition, there are wooden armrests, a massive panoramic glass roof, 20-speaker audio system, and a digital rearview mirror and fragrance diffuser. In addition, it has a microfiber roof liner, 256 color ambient lighting around the vehicle to kind of make it look nicer inside, 39 storage compartments, including a washable frunk. So it has a frunk. The G6 that I own doesn't have a frunk. This does. That's a nice upgrade. Apparently, it's also got a glove box. The G6 doesn't have a glove box. The G7 has a glove box. So there's two advantages. And the glove box has a password. If you want to use a password to protect it, stop people from opening it, you can do that. Interior space is also massive. Cargo capacity is 820 liters, which is huge. It's one of the biggest boot spaces of any SUV currently on the market. If you put down those rear seats, you get 2,277 liters of space. So that's 80.4 cubic feet. Storage space with the seats up in American speak is 28.9 cubic feet. There you can see it's a massive storage space, like massively bigger boot than all of its rivals in this sector. And I mean, really, if you want practicality, it's pretty ideal, this car. One thing for the passengers as well is they get heated, ventilated, and massaging outboard seats. I don't think that's the base model, but anyway, it's still good. And they also get an 8-inch display plus a fold-down center armrest that has 2 cup holders and a wireless smartphone charger. So pretty good for the rear passengers. There's fold-down tables too that are mounted on the front seat backs. You can use them to sit your iPad or your computer on those tables. They have integrated magnetic panels which flip up to securely hold smartphones or tablets. And they can be rotated from 0 to 90 degrees. What about the specs? How much range do you get? What are the batteries, etc.? There is 3 different versions. There is the 602 long battery life max. There's the 702 ultra long battery life max, and the 702 ultra. So range is, well, the range is what they say. So the 602 is 602 kilometers of range. That's of course CLTC. So you're probably looking at 500 kilometers of WLTP range. 374 miles of range CLTC, 436 miles of range for the long range version. 436 miles, that's 702 kilometers. Assuming real world range is going to come down by 100 kilometers, you're still looking at just over 600 kilometers of range, real world. That's about 380 miles, close to 380 miles. I mean, you can really see why this is selling so well, why they've got so many pre-orders. What about motors? All versions come with just the one rear motor. There's no all-wheel drive version, I believe, as of yet. So the rear motor produces 218 kilowatt, which is 292 horsepower, and 332 pound-feet of torque, which is 450 newton-meters of torque. A lot of torque. So, I mean, it's worth pointing out, yeah, not a whole lot of horsepower. I mean, that's 292 horsepower, 218 kilowatt. But I think these have really been designed for efficiency. Enough power. I mean, torque is 332 pound-feet, 450 newton-meters. It's enough, but the vehicles have really been designed to get as much efficiency as you can out of them. Performance is still it's not slow, but it's not too bad. 6.5 seconds, 0 to 100. And top speed is 202 kilometers an hour. That's 126 miles an hour. Charging, like I said before, charging speed is officially 451 kilowatt, pretty close to 500, but I've been hearing in China that they can actually do 500 kilowatt. But anyway, 451 kilowatt officially, meaning you can add 271 miles of range, 436 kilometers in 10 minutes. Really 10 minutes is so short of a time. You go to the toilet and you back out and you're ready to go. That's how fast it actually is. If you want to spare an extra 2 minutes, you can get from 10 to 80%. So 12 minutes to go from 10 to 80%. Getting to the artificial intelligence of this car, it's actually extremely impressive. Xpeng say this: world's first AI car with level 3 computing power. It also has radar and ultrasonic sensors, as well as, I believe, 12 high-definition cameras and 3 Turing AI chips. This car actually has more computing speed, more computing power than any other vehicle you can currently buy on the market anywhere in the world, which is pretty wild. So what do these chips do? Well, they allow for some pretty good advanced features, including human-machine co-driving. So basically, basically like Tesla autopilot, I guess you'd say. You've got to keep your hands on the steering wheel, but it'll drive you. And I've actually tested it in China. It's good, but it's improving. It's not the best, but it is improving. And it also allows for high-speed intelligent assisted driving. On the highway, they're really good, actually. There's a summon function and remote parking. So the summon function, it's on my G6 as well, my Xpeng. It means you can basically get the car to move backwards and forwards using the remote control. The parking feature is really cool. You pull into any sort of car park area, and the car will recognize the car parking spots, and you just press the screen, you pick which car park you want, and the car just drives into that spot. Whether you need to reverse park or not, it'll do it for you. So that's pretty cool. Besides the autonomous driving tech, there's some familiar assistance systems, including adaptive cruise control, lane centering, blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alert, and traffic sign recognition. It also has an automatic emergency braking system that works at speeds up to 81 miles an hour, up to 130 kilometers an hour. Another feature, the light-chasing panoramic heads-up display was jointly developed with Huawei, and it's an augmented reality heads-up display that projects an 87-inch image in front of the G7. So out in front of the car, when you're looking out through your windscreen, you can see an 87-inch image, which is a heads-up display. You can customize that. If you only want speed, you can just put speed. But if you want some other features up there as well, then you can add those additional features to your heads-up display projection. It's really good for navigation, and it will show you in advance where you got to turn, which way you got to go, etc., etc. But also, Xpeng said they have an awesome AR movie viewing mode. So you can use the heads-up display to watch movies. It can project videos when the vehicle is parked, effectively making the car be like a drive-in theater. That's wild. I've never used this kind of feature in a car before. I'm hoping I'll be able to go and test one of these in China. Actually see what that's like, to see how this whole movie cinema experience is like. An 87-inch screen out the front, just out front of your windscreen. So literally it'd be like you're at the movies. Kind of good for a date night, I guess, hey? So what do you guys think? I mean, I think this car is incredibly compelling. It has so many features the Model Y doesn't have. In fact, it has a lot of features that other cars don't have. The BYD C-Line 7, half the features here, that doesn't have. The range, it has better range than its rivals. I think this is, in terms of on paper, a much better value car than the Xiaomi SU7. So I can see why they got 10,000 orders within only minutes time. But I am a little bit surprised to see that more buyers aren't going for this instead of a Xiaomi SU7, because it's just so much more practical. It's got way more interior space than a SU7. It's way cheaper. It's $10,000 cheaper. In fact, it might be $11,000 cheaper. Has more range for the price, faster charging speed, the AR heads-up display, really, really good autonomous driving. I think it's actually probably maybe the best electric SUV on the market in China right now in terms of value for money. If you guys can think of something you think's better, based on all the factors, the charging speed, the actual range you're going to get, the interior space, the practicality, the autonomous driving features, I don't think there's anything that really meets this at this point in time. And really, for me, this is the benchmark. I haven't said this for a long time now, but ultimately, just weigh it all up, guys. Just think about all these features you're getting for this price. I think this is the best value car currently on the market in China, which is pretty wild. I look at this every single day. I haven't said this, as I said, for a very long time. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Bye-bye.